city, NYC, home of the brave, New York.
Sebastian Telfair.
Wow. Telfair going to work.
New York, in my city. New York, in my city.
I think that
Okay,
was.
we're starting off right. First of all,
Put
yes.
a clip of you crossing me.
Yes, was that you?
Sure
That's
was
an
you.
amazing moment, by the way. Hello, Sebastian Telfair joining us now. What's going on? I like this whole vibe,
Yeah,
Chandler.
love it.
Yeah.
Like the vibe, it's the Temelos, it's the Camelos. Sorry,
like this.
you know my cousin Stephon got these
Yeah,
new
Steph got the
shades.
joints. Yeah.
I like this. I like this.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into all things, but first up, what's up with you? What's new with you? What are you up to these days?
Living life, loving myself. I got some twins, 3 years old. I'm just enjoying them every day
That's
and
what's
enjoying these playoffs at the same time. This playoff run, I'm ready for the playoffs. I'm ready for the playoffs, baby.
I'm glad
ready.
you're mentioning that because last year you were in was 2015, which doesn't feel that long ago, but it is. So when you watch the league right now, like what do you see that's so different?
Oh, wow. It's a completely different league. And I think in a lot of good ways, it's a different league. We definitely missing the veteran players, but the style of play right now, it's super exciting to watch. I know a lot of the fans in the beginning of the season was talking about the style of play and they wasn't loving the three-point game, but I'm loving it. It's a lot of competition right now. It's a lot of good teams, and I'm just enjoying every moment of basketball right now, to tell you the truth.
Bessie, I wanted to ask you about the style of play. Obviously, when we were in the league and in the now, like you having games where teams miss a collective of 73 three-pointers in one game, but you cool with the style of pace and the way that the game is being played right now?
I love this the pace right now. The missed threes, I mean, you gotta know what you can and cannot do. But this is how NBA players been playing in the summertime. If you ever play against an NBA player in the summertime, guys shoot 90% of their shots as three-pointers.
Right.
You might know that. We kind of dominate in the summertime, especially when we're playing against guys that's not all NBA guys. We shooting 90% three-pointers. So I believe that transition, our summertime game transitioned over to the real season, where there's a lot of one-on-one basketball and a lot of three-point shots. And as a fan, I'm loving it. It's a lot of isolations. It's a lot of new moves being created. I'm loving it right now.
Here's my problem with it, though, Bassie. We used to have a term, you're open for a reason, right? Some of these guys, like our superstars and those guys shooting threes, I don't have a problem with. But when it comes to scouting reports, it's guys out here that are shooting 8 to 10 threes that at one point in time, they weren't allowed to shoot at all. That's my problem with where we are in the game.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm probably a little jealous because I wish I was playing in this era. That's what I'm seeing. I'm like, man, this is the era I needed to play in. Where I could come off and I can shoot at least 10 threes a game, you guaranteed to be in double figures. Like, you guaranteed.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad shot.
I wish I could have got some of this bump right here.
Sebastian, we've been talking about the MVP race all season long, coming down to SGA. Jokic looks like SGA is running away with it. Does he have your vote, or are the voters this voter fatigue a real thing with Jokic? Because his numbers, his season, it's insane.
Wow, this has been one of the most interesting MVP runs. Just talking about Jokic alone in these last maybe 4 or 5 seasons. But you got to give it to SHAI. I want to give it to SHAI. He hasn't got an MVP yet. You can tell he put his mind to build, to get to this MVP. He didn't have the three-point shot last year. He came back now. He's looking like Steve Kerr out there. He's not missing many three-point shots. I'm giving it to SHAI. He got my MVP vote. This guy's been dominating. I love the aura that he brings to the team. I love what he's doing for OKC. I hope they could win a championship. It's very weird not giving Joker the MVP because this guy's like, I don't even know what to say about Joker. He's so good as a basketball player. This guy is one of the most dominant. I believe people don't hand him the dominant thing because he's not dunking on people. If he was dunking on people 2 times a game, it would be clear this guy's one of the most dominant players. I love Joker, but I want to give it to SHAI this year for sure.
So that's a great point.
And so SGA, so he's going to win the MVP. I think we all can agree on that. But is Jokic the best player in the NBA? Because I feel like a lot of times, obviously, the best player doesn't win the MVP. It's the best season. So where do you stand on Jokic being the best player in the world, and where do you put him all time at this point of his career?
LeBron James is the best player
Still
in the world right now.
Still,
yeah, still for sure,
Wow.
for sure. Because we gonna because when we talk about Joker, we talking about his last 4 or 5 years, and we putting all his MVPs together, his championship. So when I think about a guy like LeBron, I'm putting his whole career in front of it, and especially what he's doing today. This guy is still competing at a high level, so he's still the best player. I mean, if I was picking a team and I had to win a 7-game series right now, I would definitely still start with LeBron. But Joker is definitely top 10 best NBA players of all time. I don't know where, and I don't really want to get into it, but this guy numbers, and you can't find 10 guys that can consistently put up this guy's numbers like this. It's like he changed the game, really. I think for the next 20 years, the ball's going to go through the center. Where they you know, I think who started that? I believe Memphis started that with the Gasol brothers. So yeah, where they was coming down the middle of the floor, throwing it to the big man, and he was kind of dictating what's going on. And now Joker just took it over. It's like you don't need a backup point guard no more because you got center point guards. So when your star point guard go to the bench, you just go to your center as the guard. I mean. Sheesh.
He's insane.
Okay, so the style of play obviously has changed, but I'm really curious to hear what you think about the way media and media coverage of the league has sort of, I don't know if evolved or devolved is the proper word here, but a lot of former players have microphones and platforms, a lot of talking heads. There's a lot of negativity when we speak of the NBA. What are your thoughts on sort of where we are in that regard?
I don't really see the negativity that much. I hear conversations, but I don't really look at the game from that aspect of some of the catty conversations. But I believe the media has changed because we have athletes now. We have got former athletes that's into the media now, so the narrative is not so one-sided. So maybe you say negative because maybe you get a lot of response. Usually it'd be like the media say something and it'd be what it is. Now the media says something, and now the player got the space, opportunity to respond, and also not even respond to things to lead the conversation. So the media definitely has changed a whole lot, and the athletes definitely took it in their own hands.
Bessie, last week we were on the show, and I gave you your flowers because I don't even know if you realize that you were the reason that I decided to declare for the draft going out of high school. Like, you were one of the first undersized guys to do it. You know, before that, these guys were basically men already. You're 6'7", 6'8", 230, big guys. You were the first undersized guy. And when I saw you get drafted, I remember I was at USA camping out in Colorado, and I said, damn, Bessie just opened the door for all of us smaller guards to go straight out of high school. And at that moment, Monte Ellis and myself, we were like, we out. Like, we doing this. We doing this. When you got drafted, we were like, we were out. Man, what gave you the confidence to know that you can successfully make that leap straight out of high school at your size?
I believe my love for the game as a kid. Like, I really loved playing basketball. Like, from 9 years old, I had a ball in my hand all the time. I watched nothing but the NBA. And then my cousin going to the NBA right in front of me. Like, Stephon was a child prodigy. I don't know if a lot of people know that. Stephon was a big thing in New York City. I got to watch that from beginning to end. I watched my cousin walk out of the building, get on a jet, and land in Georgia Tech, right? Like, I seen it with my own eyes. And then I watched my cousin get drafted, like, right in front of me. Like, I see my whole family walking out the building, go to Madison Square Garden and see Stephon Marbury get drafted. I had all the belief because, you know, the dream was so tangible to me. So
Trickle down,
I'm happy I was able to inspire people after me. And Lou, you inspire a lot of people after you because you did a great job of coming into the league. And a lot of people say, Sebastian, you're the only point guard. And I'll be like, sometimes I take all the love. I'm like, yeah, I am the only point guard. Right? But I'm like, nah, Lou Will's a point guard straight from high school, had a great career. So you always got to throw your name out there also.
Thank you, bro.
Bash, I got to tell you, too, as a dude from Orlando, I used to love Darius Washington. I used to always go to his games. Then this Through the Fire documentary came out, and I saw you play against him, and it was all Sebastian Telfair for me and my boy. We watched that documentary every day growing up. So just want to give you your flowers and tell you I'm a huge fan. But in early 2000s, it was you and LeBron. You guys were the next prodigies. You guys were, you're every cover of every magazine, ranked #1 in your class for all these multiple years. And you did it all in New York City, which just slaps differently. What was all that attention like? How do you handle all those pressures of going through what you went through?
I mean, that's the thing about when you're doing something that you love. You know, it kind of makes it easy. It kind of, you don't really see that it's so much going on around you. But I look back at Through the Fire, I look at that time, and I'm just like grateful for that time. I'm happy that my hard work was documented so a lot of kids can see it and follow suit. So many people made it after Through the Fire. I feel like a lot of guys came into the NBA package where they knew to work hard, where they knew had to package themselves as a brand. Today I kind of like I wear that on my sleeve, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know that a lot of people like took to Through the Fire like that, and I was able to inspire so many people. So I take my flowers and I just kind of like smile with it. But I watch the kids that's doing it now, and there's so many kids that's coming in packaged just like me, and I'm just smiling, and the game is just continue to grow, and I'm happy to be a part of it, to tell you the truth. Also, when I think about like NIL and what that is now, how much money would you have made if you went to college
cleaned up?
Not that you didn't do great, but how much money would you have made if you went to college with NIL, how it is today? That's kind of answering your last question too. Where it's like I had intentions. I had intentions at a young age, and a lot of people don't like when they hear a high school kid talking about getting paid and things like that. But my situation growing up where I was growing up at, I had intentions to get paid, and I definitely would have been one of the high players. I don't really know how they giving these deals right now, but either. I believe the highest guy in high school maybe making $7 million or $5. Yeah, I would have been somewhere in there. I mean, we're talking about Cooper Flagg maybe going back to Duke because he could make so much money instead of going to the NBA. It's crazy. It's a crazy time. Crazy time. Crazy time.
Speaking of the whole draft process, you went to Portland with the 13th pick. Like, what was the draft process like? And when you're in that position, do you have a team in mind that you would love to go to? Are you cool with whatever happens? Like, take us through that.
I would have loved to have been so cool and laid back about it, but no, you don't know where you're going. It's kind of a blindsided situation when you're going through these draft process. I mean, you worked out good for certain teams. You might get some feedback depending on who your agent is or not. But the draft process got to be fun for the kids. Be excited. It's not in your control. Kind of have some intentions on where you want to go. I feel like when I came into the NBA, I should have been saying, I want to get drafted by the Knicks. Like, the Knicks should draft me, right? I think you should have some intent and kind of take control over your career, and it starts at the draft. 13 pick to Portland. I got drafted to the furthest team possible. So I was like, man, I could have said something and got to the Knicks or Nets or something, but that was 20 years ago. It's crazy.
By the way,
speaking of the Knicks, though, you did say that the Knicks fumbled $1 billion by not having you and Stephon play together. What would that have been like? They fumbled $1 billion. Listen, I was a pretty good player, too, because the thing about the marketing with it, and then you throw me in there, like, shit, it's not a bad play either. We could have did some things.
The marketing dream.
Yeah, we definitely would have had a good time. Knicks, you blew that one, but Steph is available now. I think he's trying to get a position over there. I'm available now.
He's at every game.
The Hawks did something similar.
Yeah.
The Hawks did something similar with me and Josh Smith. We were the guys coming out of high school. Me, Josh, Dwight in Atlanta. They drafted Josh in 2004. They had an opportunity to draft me in 2005, and they said, no, we're not going to draft him because we're not going to have two local superstars sitting on our bench. Because at that time, Kevin Willis was getting those minutes, so Josh wasn't playing. I wasn't going to play. They're like, we're not going to have two high school kids on our bench from Atlanta, in Atlanta.
That's lack of foresight. You got to look ahead.
Wait, so at that time, Sebastian, did you approach anyone from the Knicks or your agent, be like, yo, this kid really wants to go there, or that just never happened? 9 out of 10 players during the draft process, they like this. you got your eyes closed. You're not calling nobody. Nah, I wasn't. I was just. I had my fingers crossed. You got to remember, my brother Jamel Thomas played for Providence College. He was the leading scorer for the Big East. He stayed all 4 years. This is in the 90s when it was the trying to do the right thing, staying in college and all this type of stuff. And they had him 13th pick in the mock draft, and my brother did not get drafted.
Oh, wow.
So my whole family was sitting there thinking my brother's going to be a lottery pick and not get drafted. So my draft process has a lot to do with that situation where we were super focused, and I don't care who I bumped into during that time. You wasn't beating me. You wasn't going to have a better workout than me. It wasn't happening.
I'm glad you said that because your draft class, man, you had Sean Livingston, you had Josh Smith, you had J.R. Smith, newly first ballot Hall of Famer Dwight Howard. Man, that draft class was loaded.
Crazy.
Who did you enjoy competing next to, alongside in that process, McDonald's All-American and all of that? But who did you love playing against from that class?
Man, Sean Livingston was a dog when we was in high school. We played an ABCD camp, right? So I'm the top point guard in the country, and then here comes Sean Livingston. So I'm like, who is this 1,000 point guard? I'm like, man, I look at him, he's all skinny, he's tall, he got a fro. I'm like, just off appearance, I'm like, man, this guy not better than me, bro. Sean Livingston was, I don't know, he got injured, so a lot of the fans gonna be like, oh, I'm not sure. But this guy was...
Oh, he was nice.
He was crazy.
Out of this world. Able to pass the ball and just, his ball handling skills. I love playing against Sean Livingston. I wish we'd have got opportunity to play against each other more, but definitely my competition was Rondo. Me and Rondo was head-to-head.
Oh, yeah.
We both wanted to go to Louisville. I love playing against Rondo. Me and Rondo had some good. We ran it up a couple of times, me and Rondo. For sure. I love playing against Rondo, so I would give it to Rondo.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was the last draft class to be able to go straight from the league, and then 2006 they put the one and done rule in, and selfishly I wish the NBA would go back to allowing guys to go straight out of high school. But if you did go to school, what would have been your route? I know you said Louisville, but would that have been the one?
Nah, I was going to go to UCLA for sure.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Get some of this
have
California sun.
conversations.
Yeah.
I had all of that locked up. Yeah. With who was the 11 and them guys. I definitely was gonna go to UCLA if I was gonna go to school for sure.
Dumb question, but does anybody here have an issue if they go back to you can go right out of high school?
No, what's the difference? You make a kid go to Australia now for a year instead of coming straight.
So who is that's just okay? Because I'm trying to figure that out. I'm like, who's against that?
I think that's a thing to get the G League started up and get it off the ground.
Smart, very smart.
But then again, guys are getting paid now, so I don't even care if they do it or not do it now. I don't like to have an opinion on these kids' future, so I feel like having that rule, that's putting an opinion on a lot of kids' future, which is not good. They say because they're trying to protect the player, that's not real because some guys are going to make it, some guys is not going to make it. There's only 400 jobs. They definitely should bring that rule back, but I'm happy that they're paying the players now. So, we don't gotta, it's not the top conversation we should have right now. I'm happy everyone is playing ball, doing what they gotta do, and a lot of money coming into basketball, and the game has continued to grow.
I know, I feel like now everybody wins. All right, so you had a cup of coffee back in, 2010 with the Cavs. It had MVP LeBron and year 17 Shaq, whom you called a really smart guy. I mean, this week he's been saying some crazy stuff. What do you remember from that time there?
Oh, man, Shaq was like a super, action figure at the time. We watched him since I was a kid in the NBA. I just remember Shaq being so business savvy. I just remember watching him off the court. Like, I remember him having a briefcase. I remember on the plane him reading and just continue to be a businessman while he was playing. So Shaq is definitely a unique dude. And playing with the king, when you play with Bron, he used to be like, the Beatles are going on the road. I was like, what? He's like, the Beatles are going on the road. I was like, oh, shit. Bron felt like a Beatle when he on the road.
You still shocked at what he's able to do in year 22? Are you shocked at that?
No, I'm not shocked. I'm not
Fair
shocked.
enough.
But I kind of like hold it to myself. I tell my friends, but I'm like, bro, it's easier now.
Right.
It's easier now for LeBron.
So it's cerebral now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that the narrative through the first, couple of decades of the NBA, a guy, they put the old stamp on the guy and then he's just old. You know what I'm saying? But LeBron is changing it right now, and I think there's going to be a handful of guys that follow right behind him to play 22, 23 seasons. I hope Steph and them guys continue to go through so that it's more normal because it's not thousands and thousands of guys that's playing 10, 15 years. So if we could get, a nice percentage of guys that's able to play 20, 25 years, I think it'll help continue grow the wealth of the NBA. So LeBron is definitely doing something that's definitely going to help in the future.
Sebastian, before we let you go, we love your Mount Rushmore of New York City point guards. There's 4 spots available. You're obviously in there, so there's only 3 left. Who do we got of New York City guards?
Well, two
New
of them
York
in his
City
family.
point guards.
Exactly. It's weird, right?
Point guards. You
Point
could throw my
guards,
boy
Lee.
Irvin Walker in there, the Gator great.
Nah, I'm going with Bassey, Steph,
Okay.
Cam Guard,
Yep.
Butchie, and Eugene Lawrence.
Hold up,
So
no.
my list is funny.
No,
I
you
know
get
some
four.
guys
You get
got
four.
Yeah. My Mount Rushmore is real personal. You know, they take my opinion and they change it up. They switch it up so much. So I'm going all Coney Island, Brooklyn guys, the Mount Rushmore
That's what's up.
for point guards in New York City. And they put me on the point guard documentary. So it's actually, I'm taking it back. The top 5 point guards in New York City history: Sebastian Telfair, Bassey, B.A., Sebastian Telfair, Bassey.
Fair enough.
It's all me, baby.
That's it. No one can dispute it. Sebastian, this has been awesome. We appreciate the time. Hope you'll come back again.
Send some shades out, bro.
Yeah.
Send some shades out.
Appreciate it.
We'll be
I
right back.
got you. You send some shades out, Steph. You
Love.
hear that, Steph? They all over Camelo's.
Run it up, run it back.